I open an Instagram page. I'm done. Spend money with me. That's not enough. You have to understand your numbers. You have to understand how to network. You have to understand how to pitch your business. You have to understand how can you get the funding and money to grow your business. Welcome to another episode here at the Nothing for Granted podcast. I am so honored to have you for the next couple of minutes where we are going to be talking about investing and generational wealth and why this is a topic I am so passionate about and how this can absolutely transform you, your business, your family structure. Let's go ahead and dive right in. If you're not already subscribed to the Beast newsletter, I would highly encourage you that you visit the show notes down below and subscribe. Why? It has been revamped. I am going to be sending you or have been sending you upcoming grant opportunities that are ending at the end of each month. That way you have the chance. I know not all of you have the resources right now to fully invest in the funding matrix, and I wanted to be able to offer you a more affordable and in this case free opportunity to pursue grants regardless of where you're at. Now subscribers are getting access to exclusive podcasts as well. So definitely join the newsletter. It is the place to be. So investing. Why is it so important for you to invest in yourself? Why do I talk about this all of the time? So when I first started my business, and I'm talking about back in when I was 16 and my grandmother gave me my first business as a thrift store, I didn't really understand what resources were out there. I didn't know. I was 16 and I had no guidance. I had no mentorship, and I didn't know that there were courses I could take. I didn't know there were coaches I could partner with. I just kind of mimicked whatever I saw other people doing, and I went the DIY route, and it was fine. And I tried to do that same structure once we opened our shop and started building our brand. Now, when we started building the brand, I was so afraid of spending any money that was coming in. All working capital had to go toward paying off this debt that we had with the shop, paying off overhead, and hopefully having something left over to feed myself and my children, right? So investing wasn't really at the forefront of my mind. And looking back, I wish I would have done things a little different, because had I had the proper guidance and coaching and taken the proper courses, had I had some sort of understanding of what it really meant and required to build a business in the online space, I would have been able to build a bigger network off rip. I would have been more knowledgeable about the way that we were spending our money, about the way that we were showing up online, about our overall business structure. I don't regret it at all, the way that we did it, but I do wish that things would have been done a little different looking back. I wish I would have known better. I wish I would have had somebody to say, what you really need is a mentor, and there are affordable prices out there to get that. And if you're just starting your business, don't think that you have to wait until you're 2-3 years in to start your business. Actually, the best thing you can do is get a mentor or a coach beforehand, because they know things and have been through things that you may never have any idea how to really navigate. Okay, and this goes through in all aspects of that. Okay, I'm talking legal aspects. I'm talking when it comes to managing a team. I'm talking about, it's so much more than just social media. When you think about investing, I don't want you to only think about, well, I need my social media game to be strong. Social media is so easy when you understand that everything is content. Every time you show up online, all you're doing is being your most authentic and genuine self. And once I understood that, creating content has been enjoyable. It's been easy because I'm literally just documenting my everyday life, which is something I love to do anyway as a YouTuber. So for me, it's like it's completely natural. It's not going to be natural for you to begin with. It is something that you have to get used to, but understand that content is just documenting your everyday work and life. Easy. So I'm not really talking about your social media strategy and da da da. Those are things that you can work through with a coach or a mentor. When I'm talking about mentorships, I'm talking about investing in conferences, I'm talking about investing in events, I'm talking about investing in people who can open your eyes and give you the awareness and tools to catapult your business into the next level. This is about becoming a CEO that can sustain your growth. Okay. And that's why investing is so important. The biggest shifts that I have experienced in my business, in my husband's business, in my daughter's business really started to occur when I started to invest big in myself. I've talked about it before, how I had to really ask myself, if I am asking my ideal client to invest $2,000 in myself, but I'm afraid to spend $500, well then I'm not really owning or acting in integrity to who I say I am. I would never ask you to do something I have never done before, gone through before. I would never ask you to show up and execute something that I have not been able to execute myself. It would be out of line. And honestly, I would have no idea what I would be talking about. So I would never do that. Everything that I show up and talk on this mic about are things that I have honestly experienced, I have gone through, I have achieved, and there are ways that you can go through make different mistakes and not make my same mistakes. And honestly, the best way to do that is by hiring a coach, hiring a mentor, hiring someone who can guide you through the foundational stage of your business, okay? So that's, why is this important? Now, I want you to consider the fact that the more you invest in yourself, in your mindset, the more you invest in your skills as an entrepreneur, because let's be clear, it's not enough in this current digital climate for you to open a business, solely rely on social media and your online presence, and that's going to be it. I open an Instagram page, I'm done. Spend money with me. That's not enough. You have to understand your numbers. You have to understand how to network. You have to understand how to pitch your business. You have to understand how can you get the funding and money to grow your business, to expand that vision that's been given to you. You have to understand how to run a team, how to hire, how to terminate people when it's not working out. These are things you need to know, because you cannot hire for something that you don't understand the process for. Your investment in becoming the CEO that you know you are is probably the most important thing that you can invest in your business, because it's the mindset that will shift everything for you. It's the ability to speak to all facets of your business that turn you into the person you already are. I also want to remind you that investing in yourself is not only business. Investing in yourself is about being aligned enough with yourself, with your purpose work, with your family, being aligned enough to understand what area of your life, what season are you in that requires growth in a specific area. So for example, this is my second year working with my business coach. I absolutely love it. The foundational elements that we have set in place have really solidified who I am as a CEO of multiple businesses, the CEO that I always dreamed of being. And I am 100% confident that all of the growth that we are going to experience in our businesses, I can now sustain thanks to the lessons that I have learned from being under her wing. Now, I am in an area now in my life, I'm in a stage in my life where I need to start prioritizing my my self-care in terms of nutrition, in terms of health. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll notice that I have started to go to the gym. I'm starting to get more serious about my eating habits and my relationship with nutrition, because this is not something that I prioritize. I get so busy in the go, 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 go. I haven't been prioritizing my nutrition. I haven't been prioritizing consistent exercising and movement of my body the way that I would like. And most importantly, for the sake of my mental health, I needed an outlet, because I do have what I like to call an addictive personality, where I'm always thinking about business. I'm always thinking about the projects that I have going on and the events and the things my daughter has going on and the academy. I'm always thinking business. And I needed something that would be for me, something that would not allow me the space to worry about business and the gym, this nutrition journey. It really did enable me to do that. For an hour and a half, for 2 hours, I am completely detached from all things business. But that is the season that I am in. And yes, that is an investment, but an investment that's necessary, because my husband, I'm sure, is tired of talking only business to me. I'm sure my friends are tired of only talking business to me when we sit down and go for coffee. I needed something that would detach me, and that is the season that I'm in. You need to be aligned to your life enough to know, okay, what season am I in? What is really the priority right now? And like I said, for me, it really started with first becoming the CEO that I knew I was. First making sure that I had everything in line to be the most elevated version of myself I could be, in terms of my skills, in terms of my knowledge, in terms of how to go about building my network, and having the understanding that this is an ever evolving process, right? But now I needed to focus on my physical health, and physical and mental health, right? So I did the work early on my business, so that now I can expend myself some freedom to explore other areas. Okay. Now, for you, that may be a little different. For you, you may be saying, well, yeah, I could definitely have a better, fitness routine. Maybe I need to invest in a coach. Okay, but how's your business doing? Do you understand how to seek funding for your business? I was in a panel discussion yesterday, an informational discussion for an upcoming pitch competition that I'm going to be participating in. And a lot of these people say, man, I wish I would have started sooner. I wish I would have understood that this is the most important piece of your business that you could have, is understanding your business, is understanding how to speak about your business, how to relay your business work in a way that is compelling and that really translates and pierces hearts, so that you could get. So real quick, I just wanted to tell you that as I'm editing this podcast, there is going to be a change in scenery. I had to re-record the whole last piece of this podcast. And so you may notice a change in audio. Bear with me. This is the juiciest part of this episode. You definitely don't want to miss it. So I guess at this point, you are now asking yourself, okay, I understand why investing is important. I understand that there are different types of investments that you make just as a person, right? But how do I know? How do I know for sure that this is the thing for me, regardless of what it is? Here's some questions that I personally ask myself, and that I think you should consider asking yourself before partnering with a coach, attending an event, taking a course or masterclass. The number one question is, does this person align to my values? And this is one I had never considered up until about a couple years ago, is, does this person align to my values in my life. It makes no sense for me to go with someone solely because of their results without really taking into consideration the values that they are going to be putting forth in their course throughout their coaching. If it doesn't align to me, I won't be receptive anyways to whatever it is they're teaching. So I have to make sure that we are in alignment in terms of what is important to me is very similar. It doesn't have to be exact, but very similar to what's important to them. Number 2 is, am I willing to commit to the process? Okay, you need to understand that the results that you get out of a coaching, out of a masterclass, out of an event, those results are based on you. They have nothing to do with the event, because anytime that you show up somewhere with the intention of growing your skills, growing your mindset, just growing at some capacity, being receptive, being open to what's being taught that day, you're going to get something out of it. So your results are dependent on you, how much you put into that process, and are you trusting the timing of that transformation? Nothing happens overnight. And I was very naive to think that just because I attended an event, everything had to change the very next day. No, you are learning skills, you're learning tactics that are going to help you get the result that you want. Number 3 is, what does my business, my body, my family, what does my life need right now to continue growing and becoming the best that it can be? What does your life, what is that area, that season that you're in need right now? What foundations do you need to restructure, unlearn, relearn, pivot in order to have sustained growth down the line in that area? Because it means nothing for you to learn something that you can sustain later, okay? Now, number 4 is, why now? Why now and why not now? Okay, so that's a twofold question. I like to ask myself, what's possible for me if I go all in right now at this moment with this support? I remember back last April, I believe, when I first started the podcast, there was a coach I was considering working with, and I was just really on the fence. The investment was really high for what my business was generating at that time. And which is my next point, I prayed about it. And as I'm praying about it, I'm listening to this podcast, and she says, I was really struggling. And then I realized, how much further would I be if I stopped being on the fence about this and just started right now? What would my life, what would my podcast look like next April? Here we are, October 2022, and I've hit incredible metrics with my podcast, because once I decided that I was going all in, then forget it. That was it. I was going to get the transformation I was after. I was going to just decide this is the time, because time waits on no one. And again, pray about it. Ask God for guidance. Ask Him, is this the right move for me right now? And if it is, He will let you know. And if it's not, then again, you'll know. The Spirit will, if you are praying about this, the Spirit will nudge you. It will tell you through people directly. You'll know, is this right or is it not right? So these are some questions you can consider. Now, how much money you invest is completely up to you. Personally, I make the investment that scares me. I make the investment that makes me queasy, that makes me uneasy, because these are the ones that I have experienced the biggest shifts in. The $50 course, the $37 webinar, that does nothing for me anymore. It does nothing for me. I've implemented those tactics. I've done everything I could with those. But when you are trying to go big, you have to invest big. And that's just being real. So how much money you invest is completely up to you. I will say that most of the time when you pay in full, you do get added benefits and added perks versus when you have payment plans. Sometimes it's just the very bare bones basics. So just something to keep in mind, but you do whatever you could afford, whatever is within your bandwidth, okay? Do not feel any type of way because you have to do payment plans. If you can afford to pay it in full, excellent. If you have to do payment plans, do that. Just take the course, invest in the coach, attend the event, grow. If you are ready to make 2023 the year that you become the best CEO yet, and you are a newsletter subscriber, I recommend you check your email. If you're not already a subscriber, join the email list. Again, the link is down below. If you haven't already subscribed, then you can wait until next week where I will be announcing how you can pursue secure funding in 2023. This is the year for you. We are claiming it, and I will be hosting an event that is going to absolutely transform the way you speak about your business, you speak about yourself, the way you seek funding. We're about to catapult your business quantum level. So stay tuned for that. Visionary, thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself and investing in yourself in this capacity. Now I just ask that you be ready to level it up. And I know you can. You're capable of so much more than you know. Love you so much. Many blessings on you, and I will catch you on the next one.
Before you go, don't forget to rate, review, and share this podcast with a friend that needs to hear it. See you in next week's episode.